Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Another episode. Happy to be here. It seems like it's been forever since I've gotten to talk to you guys, so I'm glad the episode's coming out. Today we're going to talk about a few different topics, kind of along the same vein. We're talking about trainers, like hiring a trainer, not just like trainers as people. Although I think most of them are good. I may be biased though. So what I'm first going to delve into is what you should look for in a trainer and go a couple different routes there. And then, you know, why you should get a trainer if you are not currently certified in, kind of human movement, whether that's, personal trainer certification, a strength coach certification, a yoga teacher certification, whatever it may be, as well as if you are a trainer. So if you're an individual who has been certified, why you should, consider hiring a trainer to write your programming for you. And I think that's often an overlooked thing within the training world. And from the outside looking in, it's like, well, you went all the schooling and did, these certifications. Why do you need someone to tell you what to do? I will get into that. Without further ado, let's kind of jump right into it. So you're thinking about hiring a trainer, what should you look for? Okay, so right now, I think the first thing you should look for is, do you want to do online, kind of remote training, or in person training? That's going to be step one. Are you comfortable being in closer proximity? Trainers still try and socially distance. There are times where you may get closer to each other than maybe mandated, but for the most part, people are following the rules. Or are you not comfortable being, in a gym yet, and you want to do something remotely? So obviously, not every trainer does, remote training. So that's going to be a big factor. And not every trainer right now is doing in-person training. So you've got to kind of figure out which direction you like. So I know for me personally, I am a much better in-person trainee than online. I don't know what it is about being online, but I'm just not nearly as motivated. I have a tougher time following along when I'm in person, generally a lot easier. So you got to kind of figure that out about yourself first, and that's step one. Okay? Once you've got that down, once you've got that figured, now you want to look for someone who has worked with people who have achieved the goals you're looking to achieve. Now, that doesn't mean they have to work with only those people. It doesn't mean they have to have worked with those people to be the absolute pinnacle, like the Olympic gold medalist of whatever goal. If you want to run, a sub 30-minute 5K, you don't necessarily need to get the top Olympic distance running coach, right? Likely he wouldn't take you, or she wouldn't take you anyway. But you want to find someone who's been able to take multiple people from around your starting point and had them reach the goals that you're looking to achieve. And that's really easier to find than it sounds. It sounds like, oh man, I'm going to have a lot of conversations. Usually you have, a couple conversations with trainers, and a good trainer will be honest with you and be like, yeah, I've worked with people, looking to do what you've done, or looking to do what you're looking to do, and I've had great success. Or, I haven't worked with your specific scenario before. I can suggest trainer X, trainer Y, trainer Z, or, we could work through it together. I've had success with this goal, but, different starting points. So there, it's just a conversation with your trainer, with your potential trainer, to figure out if this person's the right fit. So, like, let's take the 5K example. You don't want to go up to a trainer and be like, oh, I've never, trained anyone to run. I'm mostly in bodybuilding, but I think I can give you, what you need. Yeah, probably a red flag there. You know, you want someone who is familiar with the stressors and like kind of the mile markers, kind of punny right there, the mile markers for your training to reach your goal. So, having those conversations with potential trainers. And like I said, a lot of people can suggest, potentially other trainers around. Just as an example, I when I was working at the gym in Illinois, I had a gentleman come in. He wanted to get better at Olympic weightlifting. Olympic weightlifting has gone through this huge boom. It's very popular right now, and I think it's awesome. It's a really cool sport. He wanted to get better at it. That's not something we did at our gym. We taught college kids the basics if it was in their program, but we didn't really spend any time on Olympic weightlifting with most of our population. I'm not USAW certified. I can, again, teach the basics of a clean and a press. I've never really even taught a jerk, or clean and a snatch. I've never taught a jerk. I can teach an overhead press. So I suggested, a couple of CrossFit gyms that I knew had Olympic weightlifting classes, or I knew there was an Olympic weightlifting gym that had opened up, I don't know, 15 miles away, something like that. So sending him away on that suggestion was not only the right thing for me to do, but it was the right thing for him. So if you have a trainer that's if you have a conversation with a trainer, he's trying to convince you that even though he or she doesn't have any experience in what you're trying to accomplish, but trying to get you to train with them, that's a bit of a red flag. I would continue on your search. Okay. You also need to find someone who works in your schedule. Yeah. Most trainers are usually pretty flexible. I'm recording this on a Saturday. Saturday is my day off. I'm at the gym Sunday through Friday. I'm generally available, throughout the week, at varying times. Sometimes I'm there as early as 5 in the morning. Sometimes I'm there as late as 8 at night. So finding someone that can work with you, and your schedule, whether you have to, homeschool the kids right now, or go to work in the office, make commutes or drive around to showings if you're a real estate agent, whatever it may be, finding the trainer that works for your schedule. That's obviously important. If you're constantly having to reschedule or cancel or find new days and times, that's not going to be very beneficial. That's not going to give you the consistency you need, and that you should be looking for out of hiring a trainer. And I think kind of the final big thing, and this may be the biggest thing, is someone you're comfortable with. You should not feel intimidated by your trainer. You should not feel like they're judging you. You should feel like you're being pushed. You should feel like you're making progress. You should feel like your trainer's holding you to a certain standard of excellence, a certain standard of work, but you shouldn't feel uncomfortable. That if you're, kind of uncomfortable, if you're going to dread going to a session because, maybe some remarks are said that's not, super nice, or, maybe even the way, kind of they dress and carry themselves. The fitness world is a very look at me type world. If you're not comfortable with any of that, probably, kind of going back to the schedule thing, you're probably not going to be very consistent. You're going to likely, find reasons to cancel or delay sessions, and you won't be able to put your focus into the session. So I think those are the pretty four, big ones that we're looking at right now: online or in person, virtual or in person. They've trained people to reach your goals from pretty much your starting point, someone who's familiar with what you're trying to accomplish. Are you comfortable around them? Are you able to, kind of work hard and be yourself with your trainer? And do they fit into your schedule? I flipped those two. Truth be told, I kind of forgot. So those are the big four we're looking for when we're looking for a trainer. Okay, so now let's get into why you should hire someone as a non-trainer. So as someone who is a professional in another field, whether it's a teacher, whether you're in business, whether you're a lawyer or a doctor, whatever it may be, an engineer. Um, Hiring a trainer can be very beneficial for a couple reasons. One, they are a professional. You know, most trainers have gone through um, schooling, have gone through potentially rigorous certifications to make sure they are at the top, or not at the top. They are continuing to learn and learn and learn about the movements of the body, training systems, movement, ways to recover, ways to warm up, stuff like this. They're furthering their knowledge in this field, so it's something you don't have to do. You've got your expertise, whatever it may be. It may be calculus. If you're a math teacher, if that's your expertise, the last thing you want to do is spend more time potentially studying about, Wendler's 5-3-1 program and whether it'd be a good fit for you, or, exercise post oxygen consumption and how it increases calorie burn if you do cardio at the end, stuff like that. So the trainers, and there are a wide range of certifications and education levels. So again, that's where the conversation comes in. Trainers do all that work for you. They are continually pushing, hopefully, their knowledge forward and allowing themselves to be able to provide more to the trainer. So on top of doing all the learning, of this field for you, it takes some of the thought process out for, the trainee. You shouldn't, like, if you, let's say you're, a lawyer. Say you're a lawyer, you've got a caseload, you've got to put kind of all your mental energy into that. You probably don't want to go to the gym and think about what you have to do to work out. If you hire a trainer, plan's already in place. Again, you've talked with goals, talked with injury history, stuff like that. Plan's already in place, so you can just kind of go, turn your mind off from what you have to think about in the gym, and just get some work done. So it allows for a little more freedom, a little less stress. Let's go that way. A little less mental stress, on you while you are trying to, be a high functioning lawyer, high functioning doctor, outside of the gym. And then number 3, should keep you safe. There are a lot of videos on social media, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. There are whole pages dedicated to kind of like gym fails. But there's also a lot of, quote unquote trainers, that, maybe hit the genetic lottery or whatever and put their stuff on Instagram. And all of a sudden you go into a gym, you see, a 45-year-old dad, or your 32-year-old kind of small female, trying these really extreme kind of exercises, because it's what someone on the internet said would allow their abs to pop. 30-minute abs, 6 minute abs, whatever. There's so much misinformation out there, so many things that could be potentially dangerous for the general population, for the extreme athlete population. There's so much information out there that's just not good information. It's just not, I don't know how to sugarcoat that. It's real garbage. So the trainer can kind of filter all that nonsense out, figure out, and you can suggest, hey, I saw this on, so-and-so's Instagram, what do you think? And give you an honest opinion, and if it's good, like if it's something they didn't see as good, we'll go ahead and throw it in the program. If it's dangerous, they should be able to tell you, like, you're not going to get very much benefit out of this. You can get the same benefit in a much safer way doing this exercise. So, using the trainer there to help keep you safe is hugely beneficial. As long as, if you're healthy, you can continue to train. If you can continue to train, you can push forward towards your goals. If you can push forward towards your goals, you're going to be a little bit happier, a little bit healthier, and you're going to be continuing to develop good gym habits. Okay, so that's kind of as a non-trainer. If you don't want to listen to why I think trainers should have trainers too, you can go ahead and stop now. But I'll continue on. So as a trainer, why should you hire a trainer? It sounds ridiculous, right? I have a master's degree. I am NSCA certified strength and conditioning specialist. I'm a certified physical preparation specialist. I have a bookcase full of training books. Why did I buy from a trainer? Why did I purchase a program from a trainer? So I think trainers need trainers for a couple reasons. We're really good at knowing what we need to do, but talking ourselves out of it. So if you've been on my Instagram recently, I've been doing Bulgarian split squats a lot more because they're in the program I bought. I know they're good for you. They're great for knee health, great for hip health, great for leg strength, great for muscle size. There's not really a downside to them unless you don't have the necessary hip extensor mobility, hip extension mobility, hip flexor mobility. My bad. So they're a great exercise, but they're really tough. They suck to do. So I would put them in my program, and there were times I would skip them. I'm human. Maybe I wasn't feeling great. Maybe I just was a little tired. Maybe I just felt lazy that day. I didn't, so I would skip them. So having a trainer be able to, put these things in a program, and I'm invested, I purchased this, holds me a lot more accountable. I'm one of those people, like, if I pay money for something, I'm going to do it. No matter what it is, if I, buy, new groceries and I cook it up, I try a new recipe and it tastes bad, I'm going to eat it. I spent money on it. I purchased this program. I'm going to do it to a T. And I think that's important because the program's written a certain way. If you're not following it as written, like there was a plan in place, if you're not following it as written, you're not going to get the results that are expected at the end. That's not really a place to freestyle. Also, as a trainer, hiring another trainer, purchasing programs from trainers, whatever, allow you to see how different trainers train, certain qualities. As the saying goes, there's more than one way to skin the cat. So the way, I may train my clients to lose fat or increase muscle size or increase strength may be different than, the person I hire. But I can see, kind of what the set rep scheme, maybe certain supersets that I didn't think of, I can see these things. And now I'm using myself as a guinea pig. I can see the effects that I get. And if it, I think it would carry over to, Mrs. Jones and her goals, then I can, now implement that. I have widened my knowledge pool that I can pull from, for my client base because I have hired a trainer. And I think that is hugely beneficial. Being able to tap into, some of these experts' minds and how they write programs and, how they write templates even, so you can, kind of come up with a template so you can plug and play. I think that's just hugely beneficial. And then kind of like I alluded to, so this third one for trainers, kind of like I alluded to for the non-trainers, is, I train people all day, whether it's teaching a class, whether it's one-on-one sessions, whether it's partner sessions. I train people all day. The last thing I want to do is, kind of write my program. I don't want to think about what I have to do when I go into the gym. It's just too much. It's a lot of overload. I'm writing 20 sessions a week. The last thing I want to do is 4 more for me, because now I'm going to start to, and I've recognized this in myself, I'm going to start to kind of merge like my programs for my specific goals with my client goals. And the last thing I want to do is kind of force my goals onto my clients. That's not something a good trainer does. So if I can get someone else to write my programs, if I can purchase a template or a program from another trainer, that allows me to not think about my training and it kind of keeps there's no gray area between my training program and my clients' training programs. Now, granted, if we have the same goals, there's going to be some similarities, but for the most part, I want to be able to keep those separate, and having someone write my training for me allows that, because I'm not, in the same thought process every time I sit down to write whatever my client's program block will be. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good spot to end. I think that's all I've got for you guys today. It's like I said, I'm just glad to be back. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a while. It's always good to be able to record these thoughts. If you have any questions, about what you should look for in a trainer, or kind of what kind of training would you recommend, or if I could recommend a trainer for you. Granted, I'm in Florida and I've worked in Illinois, so I don't know people around the world, but I may be able to point you in the right direction if that's something you're looking for. Reach out, send me an email, chase.harris.performance@gmail.com, or check out my Instagram at chase.harris.performance. You can shoot me a text, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, or leave a like on a couple videos if you want. And I'd be happy to talk to you about trainers or programs, or whatever, to help you reach your goal and be consistent. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, month, and I will talk to you later. Peace.